is Sylvia Soska. And American Mary herself, obviously Ginger Snaps as well, and we also have John and Tracy with us as well.
Oh my god, you guys were amazing. You laughed, thank you. You laughed, you cheered, and you're still here. And I cried like a bitch at the end when you guys cheered and applauded and stuff, so thank you. You guys are the best fucking audience in the world, thank you. Thank you so much.
So tell us about the genesis of the movie. How did it all come about?
How did it all come about? Alright, I was working on a film called Dead Hooker in a Trunk, and that was a 5-year process from original creation to being finished. And when it was done, we sent it to everybody involved with the multi-collaborative Grindhouse, because they were the ones who started us with the fake trailer. They inspired us to make our own film. And so I sent it to every director. We sent it to Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez, Rob Zombie, Jason Eisner, Eli Roth. Just saying, basically, you inspired me. Thank you so much. I made a movie and now I'm making films. And I didn't expect to hear back from anyone. And then 2 days later, we heard back from Eli Roth through MySpace, you know, the Twitter/Facebook of then. So Jen didn't believe it, and she's like, yeah, so no fucking way is that Eli Roth. He's so sweet. No. She's like, so should we send it to your agent at CAA? He's like, yeah, send it here, and blah, blah, blah. So we're like, oh my god, okay, thank you. Turns out it was Eli Roth, and after he saw Dead Hooker and was really sweet about it, he said, well, girls, I'd like to read something else by you. So at the time, we had nothing, so he was so kind to us, we decided to bullshit the man. So I was like, Eli, I have so many scripts right now. I have this one, and this one, and this one about this medical student. And he's like, yeah, the medical student one sounds very interesting. I'd like to read that one. I was like, oh. Well, Eli, I would be so embarrassed if there was like a spelling mistake in there. So Jen and I are just going to take a little quick boo over it, and we'll send it. Write a script and just pull it out of our asses and be like, oh, here's the body mod one. So I look at Jen, I'm like, holy fuck, we have 2 weeks to send a script to Eli Roth. And I say, dude, what the fuck do you know about body modification? Humorously enough, I was dating someone, and you know how sometimes people are like, ooh, look at this thing I found on the internet, I bet it's gonna freak you out. And I didn't know at the time it was a prank for April Fool's Day, but it was 2 identical twin brothers. One of them had his arm severed, amputated, and grafted onto his brother's chest plate, and then he had his ring finger taken off and then put onto his other brother's finger, so he had an elongated finger, and because they're genetically identical, the limbs weren't rejected. And that didn't really disturb me as much as the love letter that said, you have to be an identical twin to really understand to want to have this closeness. She turned to me and said, dude, would you ever do that? I was like, I love you, but fuck no. And then we thought about it a little bit more, and we're like, you know what? I know it's probably really difficult to do, but if you know, traded arms, you could go like this. She pretends she's not interested, but she wants to see. And it would be like you're holding hands with your twin. That's the only process that they're just starting to do in Europe, where it's about 40 doctors. We thought it would be. Dude, we are in Europe. We are. Oh my god, we're in London. At least you're pretty. So I became obsessed with body modification, so I started creeping on all the sites, pretending I was getting surgeries done and asking for advice, and they were very kind to me. And then I was like, actually, I'm making a movie, and they just disappeared. But we were really lucky to have Russ Fox, our flesh artist consultant, and Elwood Reed from the Church of Body Modification come on board, and it was really important to us because being identical twins, you're kind of always judged on your physical appearance, and that's something I have in common with people in the body mod community. People already assume who you are and what you are because of the way you look, and I thought, you know, everybody I've met in the body mod community is the most self-aware, kind, normal people I've met, and people that they say are normal and you should trust, I find to be usually pretty fucking horrible. And I was like, wouldn't that be fun? Let's make a movie about that, and then, fuck, we did it.
Okay, what's up, so
Good.
Right, how do you share the directorial chores? Do you have very specific things? Tell us about that.
Yeah, we do. People ask us what it's like to work together as twins. I don't have experience without her because she's never, you know, been hospitalized or kidnapped or anything. Usually for the whole concept, we argue back and forth. We're a Hungarian/Czech, so a conversation can sound like I'm gonna kill you conversation with us, and as soon as we stop arguing, we're like, fuck, that's something we agree on. With directing, because Mary in particular was very emotionally important to Sylvia, I said that you can have final say if we argue. Of course, thank Christ. I went back on that word a few times.
And I think Catherine Isabel was terrific in the movie, yeah?
Oh my God.
So how did you get involved with the film and these girls?
I was emailed the script and I was not in front of a computer. I had my BlackBerry and yeah, I was like, okay, I'll read a little bit. And I ended up reading the whole 180 pages on my BlackBerry lying in bed. And then I think read it 2 more times the same day and said, fuck, this is great. I doubt they'll ever get it made. But I met with them and they were them. Sorry. Just awesome craziness all around. And it took a while. And all of a sudden they were like, fuck, we're gonna do this. We're gonna shoot it in 15 days. I started to cry a little bit. And then we actually did it. And yeah, that was it. They just sent it to me.
And you, sir, how did you get involved?
Well, I had an audition, and I knew from the audition that this wasn't going to be like any other job I'd ever done before. I think I was hugged the minute I walked into the audition, which is unusual.
We were asked by our casting director to stop hugging people that we like. She's like, no, you gotta play hardball. No, I want a hug.
I thought it had gone well. And then, actually, when I was offered the role, I got a call from my agent who then said the casting director was going to call, and who then told me to call the twins directly. And this was, do you remember, this was kind of late at night, and I thought, shall I wait till tomorrow? They said, no, call tonight. So I called, and they said, well, we'd like to offer you this role. And I said, well, fantastic. And they said, no, you haven't seen the whole script yet. And they said, well, send it over. And I said, well, I'm sure. They said, no, please just, will you read the whole thing first and then call us afterwards? So,
we had some issues during the auditioning process where someone's like, yeah, the scene was like a great movie, and I was like, did you get the whole thing? No. Billy, the second lead, didn't get the whole script, and he's doing the last scene, and I'm insane, so I read as Mary, and he goes over to me, and he tries to kiss me. I was like, no, dude, you were just getting blown by some other chick. She doesn't want to fucking make out with you. He's like, what happened? And then she went and tried to chop her up in the back. What happened? Did you not read the script? I thought I could just lie and say that I did. Yeah, no, honey.
So would you consider body modification for yourselves?
Okay, so I really want to. I want to do a suspension, a hanging. Did you know that your skin farts after you do the suspension? This is the only thing keeping me from doing it, because after you do the suspension, you have to let the air out so your flesh farts. But they were attractive, isn't it? No, it's cool. It's cool because it's like, you transcend and you don't have to be like high or drunk or anything. It's just like a sensation. It's cool, but I'm kind of a pussy. So I have a body modification hook on my phone, which is a reminder for me to grow some balls. I would maybe get my back pierced and then I'd say, thanks, that'll call it a day. That's enough for me. Thank you. I appreciate, but I just don't think that I would look cute in horns. Though I kind of she totally would though.
Now, we haven't got an awful long time for this Q&A, so we couldn't do any from the audience, sadly.